Vampire Weekend are back with their first kind of real full-length album in about 5 years. They had that project in 2021 that I personally never listened to, but it was like two 20-minute long tracks. No idea what was up with it, but it was clearly more of like a side project type of thing for them. This is their first kind of meaty studio album since Father of the Bride, I believe it was called, in 2019. Personally, I've always enjoyed Vampire Weekend, especially specific songs here or there, but I've never been a diehard. I know a lot of people would consider their first 3 albums to kind of be classics in their own rights, and I enjoy all those albums, but none of them make me go as crazy as other people seem to. However, I'm hearing only very extremely positive things about this new record here called Only God Was Above Us, so I'm still really excited to check this thing out, but I just thought I would let you guys know my biases up front that I'm not as big of a Vampire Weekend fan as maybe some other people are, but I'm definitely going into this thing hoping I'll love it. So let's get started right now with track 1, which is called Ice Cream Piano.
Cynical, you can't deny it. You don't want to win this war, 'cause you don't want a peace. The word was weaponized as soon as it had passed your lips. I'm a gentleman, unseen. You talk of Serbians, whisper cause of our Albanians. Drain the old world's next. Dreams that scream piano, a softly reached piano.
That was amazing, I gotta say. I mean, it's been quite a while since I've listened to those other Vampire Weekend records. Maybe even some of those would have grown on me. I'll probably have to go back after this video, but just from memory, that's already one of my favorite Vampire Weekend tracks I've ever heard. What an incredible opener. I mean, what is it, 3.5 minutes? But there was just the composition, the progressions, the crescendos, the cutoffs, and then the booms again. Like, there was so many different phases to that song. The way the fuzzy guitars kind of coming at first with the piano and drum line, and I don't know, just the way all the elements of that instrumental was used. The lyrics were a little hard to make out just because of the fuzzier vocal filter on them, but what I did make out, they were really beautiful as well. So yeah, that has me super psyched to hear the rest of this album, and also to even just go back to that track in the future and dive more into the details, because, you know, it's a first listen. I'm never going to get everything on the first run, but what a strong impression to start this thing off. So now we'll go on to track 2, which is called Classical.
Something's gonna change, and when it does,
I feel like this album is exactly what I needed today, honestly. You know, I've been having a more emotionally charged day, I'd say. And it wasn't even, I liked the lyrics of that song. I was able to make them out more. And, you know, the lyrics of the song weren't exactly getting to me, but just the sound of it, like, it was gorgeous. It was beautiful. It was just speaking to my soul in a way that just felt really comforting, but also just kind of letting me experience the emotions that, you know, I already had bubbling up before even pressing record on this video. But yeah, that was gorgeous. Like, the main kind of guitar part, I love the melody. I love the tonality of it as well. There was a part where in this headphone over here, there was like some blaring saxophone kind of going on, sounding all crazy, and then a cycling, you know, piano melody that just sounded so fresh and icy cold. I don't know. Like there was so much greatness going on in that track. Once again, 2 tracks in, I'm already sold. I'm in love. This is, the best album I've heard. Okay, I'm not gonna say it. I've loved a lot of music recently. Don't get me wrong. As a huge Future fan, that new Metro Future has stayed in rotation. That Schoolboy Q album's fantastic. That Kali Uchis album from this year, also amazing. There's been lots of great stuff that I've been having in rotation, but we're only 2 tracks in. I don't want to jinx it. Maybe the rest of this I won't care for as much, but it's hitting at the right time. This is just what I needed today. Just this softer but kind of just sprawling, elegant soundscape. The compositionally, again, these 2 tracks have just been chef's kiss. You couldn't ask for anything more. I already know that it's only going to get better on repeat listens too, because I already feel like I'm forgetting things from that track I wanted to mention as I was going through it. But yeah, yeah, love it, love it, love it. Let's just keep going. Track 3 is called Capricorn.
Listen clearly, you don't have to try. Capricorn, the year that you were born, sifting through centuries for moments of your own. But in my prime, I called the hospital. You didn't have the time. You don't have to try. Capricorn, the year that you were born. Finish fast, and the next one wasn't yours.
That was probably my least favorite track so far, and I still loved it. Especially those really rewarding payoffy moments where that shoegazy fuzz kind of comes over the chorus. Yeah, again, delicate acoustic guitar, just sounding gorgeous as hell. Man, I gotta go back to Vampire Weekend's other stuff, don't I? I can already hear you guys typing in the comments, like, if you like this so much, please go back to their other stuff. I will, especially if the next 7 songs keep me on this journey. But damn, I am, loving this thing. Track 4 is called Connect.
The memories don't fade, box of wax. Lately I know once it's lost, it's never found. The greed is buried in the ground. Hold loosely down. It's lost, it's never found. I need the grid is buried in the ground. A country house in June was happening too soon.
I'm speechless right now, I'm not gonna lie. That was somehow maybe the best song on here so far. I really just was almost overwhelmed by that one in a good way. I think classical maybe still spoke to my soul a little more, just touched me in that different way where it had me even tearing up a bit. But this one, the sheer musicianship, professionalism on display on every level, not just in terms of the playing, not just in terms of the composition, but the mix. And I noticed it a bit on other songs, but didn't comment on it. But even the way the interplay between the 2 channels, there's a lot going on in that sense, stuff kind of cycling around, or, just being predominantly in one headphone over the other, or some glitchy sound effects across a couple of those songs, like on the end of this one here. And it's all just done with such poise, grace, just a mastery of craft on display here. And I'm really in awe. I'm not just faking for the camera. I don't do that. I give you guys, this is what I would look like listening to the camera, or listening to this album with the camera on or off. But that was spectacular. absolutely spectacular. There were moments where these synths came in, and on an album where predominantly the instrumentation so far has been very natural. It sounded like real instruments. I don't know if that's the case. These days technology is so crazy. Maybe some of these guitars, piano lines, drums, whatever, are actually programmed or digital. You never know, but it sounds very authentic, very naturalistic. It does not sound like digital instrumentation, which wouldn't be a critique. If anyone who knows me, you know, synth shit is most of what I listen to, whether it's hip hop, synth pop, pop music, I don't know, all sorts of great genres where synths are the predominant instrument. Okay, I love me some synthy music. But there's also, of course, a special place for real instruments, holistic sounding music like this. And most of this has been that, or felt like it. But when you add just those few moments, like it's not a lot of this track, it's just these little moments where these nice synth pads come in. They just add an extra dimension to the track that you couldn't achieve without them. The drums, the kind of soft but really kind of intricately patterned ones that ran across a lot of that track, especially under these really sprawling piano lines that were fantastic, so fluttery, so whimsical, magical. Every element, also just the way they're working off of each other, right? It's not just that each individual element is sounding incredible. The interplay between all of it, it's like a dance, it's like a ballet going on, and then again, you pair that with how it's all mixed. I mean, there's just so many levels to what's going on, so many different things happening all at once to create this maximalist synchronicity that, goddamn, like seriously, that track was an absolute masterpiece. Okay, I've loved every song so far. You guys have seen that. I'm loving this album. That track was a goddamn masterpiece. That was perfection. That was absolutely incredible. Wow. Okay, track 5, Prep School Gangsters.
Just make the call as the summer turns to fall. Thing you are somewhere in your family tree. There was someone just like me.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, kind of like Capricorn, my initial impression was it's one of my lesser favorites, and I guess more so, maybe I'm just drawn to the more maximalist instrumentation, the crazier compositions and song structures. This one was definitely simpler, right? Just in comparison, there's still so much incredible mastery of music going on in this track, but simpler in comparison to songs like, you know, Ice Cream Piano or Connect, at least, you know, to my ears. But they're just the little details, right? Like every time I thought that track had just settled into a consistent groove and was just gonna, you know, kind of stay there, it would throw something new at me. Those nice little fluttery guitar riffs, those kind of creaky strings that came in at the end, and then ending off with just one warm wave of a horn note. Like, they didn't need to do that. Like, they could have just ended with the guitar riffs. They didn't need to do the strings, but just these little details, right? It's just like one warm horn note that just opens up and closes out the song, and just what that adds is so rich, just adds so much character. I mean, yeah, and even like the core tune of that song was just so lovely. Love the chorus. Again, the lyrics, like I'm trying to pick them up, but it's hard on a first listen. I feel like if anything will make me appreciate this album even more on repeat listens. It's really sinking in to the lyrics, what he's saying, and you know, if there's much cohesion across the whole album in terms of just a loose kind of concept or just thematic ideas or whatever. But it's super catchy chorus. The lines here or there that I am able to catch or make out, they're very poetically worded. They're very beautifully put. It's just I'm not exactly able to pick up the story that's being told on this track on first listen, admittedly. But on a musical level, I am in nirvana right now. This is really stopping me in my tracks. So we're halfway through the album now. It's showing no signs of slowing down. I don't expect it to. Track 6 is called The Surfer.
Jammed above the waves.
Okay, admittedly, I wasn't paying as much attention to that song because I started to notice that my little recorder thing that my mic is plugged into was about to run out of battery, and if it did that while I was recording, I would have lost all my audio footage. I didn't want that to happen, so I spent a lot of that song kind of scrambling to get a new battery and then to upload the first half of my audio recording onto my computer to make space for what I'm currently recording. But that being said, still digging what this song has to offer. It was definitely the most low-key, chill, laid-back track on the record so far, I feel like. Definitely appropriate for a track called The Surfer, and honestly, out of all these tracks so far, I feel like if there was gonna be a song where I was like only half paying attention, I feel like that was the one for it to be. Just a nice vibe going on in my headphones. But now we're back, we're fully locked in. Track 7 is called Gen X Cops. That was the first track where I feel like maybe I picked up on what he was trying to express lyrically there. The idea that each generation forms and molds the structure that the next generation then follows up, being constrained and ingrained within that structure. And you know, they never like what the previous generation has left before them, but then they do it to the next generation after them as well. I thought that was pretty cool, if I'm getting it right. Also, musically, I feel like that was back to being a little more lavish, a little more grand, regal. Not that, I don't like some of the more deviations from that. I like that the album is giving us variety in that sense. If it was just on blast, on 100 the whole way through, you know, it wouldn't have that same effect. It's nice to have these dips, these curves. There's been a nice pacing to the album so far, which I'm really appreciating. I love some of the sharper guitar notes that we had across that track. So again, another killer tune. Down to the last 3 now. Track number 8 is called Mary Boone.
Oh my love, was it all in vain? We always wanted money, now the money's not the same. Mary Boone, Mary Boone. Well, I hope you feel like loving someone soon. In a quiet moment at the theater, I could feel your pain. Deep inside the city, your memory remains. Cuff hours, Russian icons and Simon dollars.
It's kind of awkward for me to even approach talking about that, because I just spent most of that song crying, honestly, which, again, I don't try to do, but, and I don't know how really to explain my reaction to that song without going more personal than is appropriate for this forum. I'll just say that song spoke to me on a different level, musically, lyrically. The glowing choral vocals on the sparser parts of the song, so gorgeous, just created this warm, radiant feel. The more drum-heavy sections, a great rewarding payoff, emotionally and musically. The way it all comes together, I mean, another incredible composition. I think just in terms of a song, not even, you know, taking away whatever happened emotionally there, like just on a musical level, that is probably up there with Connect for my favorite so far. But when you add the how that made me feel, yeah, I don't know, that one was a special moment for me. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, track 9 is called Pravda.
I've waded through the walls of winter. I know what lies beneath Manhattan. I know who's buried in Grant's tomb. They always ask me about Pravda. It's just the Russian word for true. Your Uncle Henry lived in Moscow. Young Ludmila lived there too. They always ask me about Pravda. It's just the Russian word for true. They always ask me about Pravda.
I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I'm a little emotionally overwhelmed right now, in a good way, but I need to finish this album. Like, I don't really have much to add to that track there. It was fantastic again, but look, it's been a hard day. Can't even lie to you guys. The album is definitely hitting at the right time. Like, I'm glad I played it today, but it's also just like, I just need to end this video. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay. You don't need to worry about me. You know, this is something we all go through. It's just one of those days, but like, for real. But yeah, this music is nice, but I just need like alone time. But I still want to finish the video. And I hope you guys are all having a great day too. But you know, we all just need just some time alone sometimes. And even though I am alone right now, it's just, you know, I got the camera on me, and I could stop recording, but hey, we're almost done the album, and I feel like, hey, it's been a fun ride for the most part. And even when it hasn't been fun, it's been impactful. And everything about it, I'm loving. If it holds up on repeat listens, it's gonna easily be one of my favorite albums of the year so far. If not my favorite, we'll see. I don't like to make claims like that on first listen, but yeah, I'm sorry. For now, let's just finish this thing off. Last track, Hope. Maybe I'll feel a little more up to giving commentary on this one. The universe, I guess, works in mysterious ways, because I think, once again, you know, that's kind of exactly what I needed to hear in this moment. You know, I hope you let it go. You know, that refrain repeated across that song, lots of different contexts. I didn't catch them all. Some really stood out to me. Like, early on in the song, there was one, "Your enemy's invisible. I hope you let it go." And then later in the song, I think it changes to, "Your enemy's invincible. I hope, you know, I hope you let it go." And yeah, I don't know, man. That was a lot to take in. That was a lot. Musically, as I've expressed several times, that project was absolutely magical, incredible, just next level, honestly. Lyrically, again, I'm going to need to do a bigger deep dive, but you know, some of those songs, especially on the back half, I feel like I actually started to tap in more on first listen with what they were doing lyrically. And oh my God, did they ever just speak to me and kind of tell me things I need to hear in this exact moment. So, like I said, the universe just works in mysterious ways. You know, I've been planning on making a video about this album since it dropped, since Friday. Today just happened to be the day I decided to do it. And it also happened to be the day, you know, this past week where I probably needed it most. So, very glad I did it. Sorry if it was awkward to watch along with me having an existential crisis, especially to the last few songs on this project. But, you know, hopefully, otherwise, you guys enjoyed my reaction, maybe got something out of it, appreciated the album alongside with me. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this project, this album, down in the comments below. And thank you guys, as always, for watching, and I'll see you next time.